everybody, it's Trish, and I'm just north of Boston at Standard Finishing Systems at their VIP Demonstration and Training Center, where people come from all over North America to see the latest in automated finishing solutions from Standard Hunkler and Horizon. So let's go take a look.
Hey, welcome to Standard.
Thank you. Such a great day, isn't it?
Beautiful outside today.
Yeah.
Hey Trish,
Hi, Bob.
how are you?
Great,
Good
thanks.
to see you again.
Thanks. It's great to be back. It's been a few years.
It has, but come on in, let's go take a walk to the demonstration floor.
I can't wait. You know, so much has changed. The technology has changed. The industry has changed. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have cooking in here.
Well, since the last time you were in, we've really stepped it up here on the demonstration floor. It's been very busy with people coming in to see the latest and greatest technology for both cut sheet and continuous training.
Outstanding. Well, I can't wait. Well, we're here.
Well, I'm glad you could make it in again. We've actually
Thanks.
expanded the facility since the last time
I
you were
can
here.
tell.
Yeah.
It looks a lot bigger, actually.
Well, you know, the demonstration floor itself is just a little bit larger, but we've added a lot more training space.
Yeah, it looks great.
But we've got a lot of things to show you today.
Okay. I'm excited.
Where we're standing here right now, behind us is the Smart Binding System. Excellent system where we combine both Hunkler and Horizon to make a complete, perfect binding system from roll to finished book with variable book production from one roll and one operator. But let's move on, we'll come back to that
you're gonna
later.
make me wait for that one?
I'm gonna make you wait.
All right.
What I
Well,
really-
where are we going first?
Well, what I wanted to show you was the short run cut sheet digital solutions that we've added to our line.
Okay,
since
I'm
you were last here.
interested. This is cool.
Well, the system we're looking at right here is the Smart Slitter. The Smart Slitter is actually what I like to refer to as a bindery in a box.
Okay, you should trademark that.
Well, I just might do that. And really, as we've talked about a number of times, finding skilled operators is getting very, very difficult.
That is today's challenge, I think.
So you need equipment that an unskilled operator can walk up to it, be productive, and produce quality work. And that's what the Smart Slitter does.
And is that also kind of the theme for all of your digital equipment? Is really
All of
that
it.
ease of use?
Absolutely, and you know, it's touchscreen operation. If you're familiar with Horizon products at all, if you train an operator on one piece, they can easily walk up to another system because the operator
Love
interface
that.
is the same.
And just intuitive.
And this system, you can set up from JDF data. You can have a barcode on the sheet which automatically pulls a job from memory and sets up, or you can set up from the touchscreen.
So you can run back to back different jobs.
Back-to-back jobs. And let me tell you a few
Yeah,
of the
what does this
operations
do?
this machine will do. So when processing the sheet through the machine in the direction of feed, we can do slitting, gutter cutting, bleed trimming, perforation, rotary creasing, skip perforation. Across the sheet, we can do lead trim, tail trim, bust cut, slit, mechanical crease up, mechanical crease down, perforation, partial perforation, all in one
All in one
pass.
pass?
Yeah, I'm not going to go through all the things we can do because we just don't have that much time.
I
But
love
for
it, though.
example, that's a direct mail piece with an
Looks
L
like an L perf.
perforation.
Yeah.
Coupon application,
Business cards.
business cards. But that's much, much more that the system can do.
I love that.
move on
That's
to
a
the-
great start.
Thank you very much. The CRF 362 has been a fantastic addition to our line. We introduced it a couple of years ago. We've installed many here in North America. And basically what the system is a creasing folding machine.
Okay.
But not just dedicated to commercial, to digital print, but it really shines in that area. You know, with digital print, you tend to get cracking if you're printing across the fold
Sure.
area, particularly with
Especially
grain
if
in
you're-
wrong, grain in wrong direction.
Yes.
You're the folding
Yeah.
expert, so you know that. In this particular machine, it comes standard with an up crease and a down crease and two fold plates, so it can do any folds that a two-plate folder can do. You know what those are.
Yeah. Yeah,
Letter-
it's your basics. It's kind of,
Letter
your
fold,
trifolds
Z
and your-
fold,
Yeah.
half fold, gate fold. It'll also do unique applications like creasing and folding for dust jackets for
Perfect.
case-bound books, or flap covers for perfect bound books. Very, very powerful tool. This system behind us is the APC 610 paper guillotine. It's a digital paper cutter. It's designed for an inexperienced operator to be able to really produce work through the paper guillotine. And as you know, the cutter is important, sometimes pre-printing, but it's most important
At the end,
At
when
the
all the time and money and resources are invested, and if the operator either keys something in wrong or is not paying attention, you can lose all of your investment.
That's exactly right, and that's why in a traditional paper cutter, a skilled operator is very important. We've made this just like every other piece in our digital line, where the operator is required to put in very little
It's like an
information.
iPad.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like interfacing with an iPad or an
Yeah.
iPhone. You can store jobs into memory, up to 200 jobs in this particular machine.
Barcode
If that's not enough,
reading.
barcode, we can pull it out of memory with barcode. If 200 isn't enough, insert a thumb drive and you have 200 more memory positions. So a very, very powerful tool as a digital print system or as a backup to the logic cutter in your commercial offset shop.
I just see how all of these work together, kind of like a suite of products.
It really is.
Great.
We actually have a lot of customers that are taking and investing in a digital package to
Yeah.
insert into their commercial shop to take the load off of the traditional binary equipment and the setup time that's required
Yeah.
on those pieces of
Well,
equipment.
and I imagine also opening up new revenue streams. I have to think. some of
Without a
these-
doubt. This particular machine we're looking at right now is a very powerful tool. It's the RD4055 die cutter. We utilize magnetic cylinders to do the die cutting in combination with flexible dies.
They're so thin and light.
Very thin and light, so imagine storage compared
Oh
to
my
a
gosh.
traditional machine.
Yeah.
The pin register allows you to get quick registration when you apply the die to the cylinder. The system's capable of doing die cutting or through cutting, in an example such as invitations like you're seeing here. We can also do labels, which means with this
So
particular...
kiss cut.
Kiss cut, yep. So in this particular case, we did the through cut to cut that out of the parent sheet, plus we did the kiss cutting all in one pass.
There's no embossing on the back
No
of this or
embossing on
anything.
the back at all, because
It's
it's a
really
Barra
clean.
system, very tight tolerances. This is a traditional size pocket folder, 12 inches with 4-inch pockets. Can be produced on the system for pocket glue folding, or in this particular case, we're doing tabs to lock that fold in. We've also die cut out the stars, die cut out the company name, and embossed equipment.
The
and creased
embossing was done here too?
all in one pass. So a very, very powerful tool. You can imagine in this small footprint, the work that we can get out at 6,000 parent sheets an hour as compared to utilizing a letter press, a vertical press, a flatbed, or a high die system. This is a
This
very,
is
very
powerful.
powerful
I love this.
Yeah, we
Wow.
like to think we put together a good fleet of digital finishing
Yeah.
equipment, and it's really been a great addition to our line and provided good solutions to our customers. But I've got a lot more things we want to show
Oh,
you
I
besides
can't
this.
wait. This is my favorite.
So Trish, I thought you might be interested in this section. This area of the floor is dedicated to our folding line. We have a complete line of folders, starting with tabletop folders right up to a full 40-inch size folder, our 746. Don't have that available on the floor, but I do have plenty to show you.
Awesome.
The AFB 566F is our new, latest and greatest buckle and a half-size folder. Increased automation versus our previous models with a fully automated feed table, register table, fold plates, roller gap, soup to nuts, memory storage. There's a lot to see there, and I'll show you that when we get down to the smart binding line we
Oh,
mentioned
that'll be
earlier.
fun.
The AFC 566F continues to be our top-selling folder. It's a combination folder with 6 plates in a parallel unit, a cross-fold knife, a plate in front of the knife, and a plate in the back of the knife. Very quick changeover, job to job. All of your roller gaps are set with a single sheet of paper based on the fold pattern and the thickness of paper that you're adjusting. Think about how much time that saves you not having to insert those sheets.
Hours of just setup, manual
Yeah,
setup.
yeah, you think about a map fold, for example.
Yeah.
A map fold is usually going to take you about, I don't know, 2.5, maybe 3 hours to set up for a job.
In today's digital workflow, it's just not,
You don't have that
Yeah,
time, and
we
you
don't have the
you don't
time.
have the overruns.
Right.
I can generally set up for a map in less than 10 sheets in less than 5 minutes and be into production.
That's
So it's an
amazing.
amazing
so
productivity
you have
gain.
time and labor,
That's
right?
exactly
I mean,
right.
that's really kind of a theme, I think, an underlying theme
And
of all of this.
trying to find skilled labor. We
Yes.
keep repeating that, but it's worth stating again and again.
Yeah.
The machine behind us here is the 406A, which is a small format folder. It's inserts, outserts, pharmaceutical, exactly. It'll go down to 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch. 6 plates in the parallel, 6 plates in the right angle, and an optional knife unit for a last fold.
What about glue?
Gluing is available as a third-party option, also
Excellent.
camera systems, because quite often when you're running pharmaceutical work, you're going to place a barcode
Right.
on the sheet because you have to track each one of those sheets and make sure the print is there. And here you can see we're producing a multi-panel folded job, very lightweight
Yeah.
stock, This is a very powerful machine because it allows you to do what is generally required of maybe 3 or 4 different configurations for small format of pharma from one automated machine. But let's move on because we've got a lot to show you.
All right.
You know, Trish, we spent a lot of time talking about Horizon bindery or finishing solutions. Now I'd like to spend a few minutes talking about the Hunkler pre and post product. Here we're showing it as part of a direct mail line where we're going roll to fold for high volume mailing applications. The Hunkler, we just recently introduced the Generation 8. The Generation 8 is latest and greatest upgrade from the Pop 6, which was a very successful line for us. With the Generation 8, we get a little wider format,
All right.
22.5-inch web width. We've increased the speed. We're running at 600 feet per minute with intentions of increasing that speed within the Generation 8 platform. Here we're running the unwinder into the DP8. The DP8 is a dynamic perforation and punching unit. The system is capable of doing perforation in the direction of the feed, across the direction of the web, hole punching, either round hole or a pattern punch. And it's dynamic in that, let's say we're running 8.5-inch 11 forms, 2 across the web. Every 8.5 11 form could have a different perf pattern on it, and that's going to change automatically at 600 feet a minute based upon the data matrix code that's read by the camera and the jobs that have been stored in file. With the Gen 8, we've also incorporated a much more user-friendly interface, much more intuitive for the operator, and we've increased the level of communication between this system and the downstream devices like the Horizon folder we're running here today. This is the CS68 cutter. The CS68 cutter is a very heavy-duty rotary cutting system. It's available with a single cut cylinder or a double cut cylinder. Generally for direct mail applications we go with double cut, and if you're looking to remove the spit line, a double cut also takes that out of the print stream. But if you're doing something like book production or saddle stitch or perfect binding, you're going to do a 3-knife trim anyway, so a single cut cylinder will probably suffice. We also can put a stacker in line, a slit merge module, or a separation module for 1 up, 2 up, 3 up.
Because with
4 up.
direct mail, things can change. There's so much variability in
You
it.
never know
that
where it's going to go.
It's flexible. I can just feel the flexibility.
We also put out a lot of combination lines where you may have a line that's going to do book block production for perfect binding and saddle stitching from the one line. That's why it's important that we know what the customer's requirements are today and where they may go in the future so we can configure a line that's expandable for them.
But this is doing a lot. I mean, how many operators would be on this?
You know, generally on a line like this, you're going to have one operator, and they're usually going to spend their time offloading the folded pieces, 8.5 by 11, at about 80,000 pieces per hour, so a very productive machine. In fact, in many shops, one operator is running more than one line, just like in many cases they're running more than one printer. Here we're running it in the Horizon AF56 folder with the digital interface conveyor in between. That conveyor allows us to take a folder off the shelf, put it in line with the Hunkler equipment, and have two-way communication and synchronized read and feed speeds.
Efficiency, the word of the day.
Well, that's where we're going today. So as you're probably aware, the stitch liner we introduced about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And last year we introduced a new version of the stitch liner called the Mach 3. The Mach 3 is an exciting machine for us because even though the stitch liner was very, very successful and a very, very productive machine, we listened to what the customers had to say and we added the features that they were looking for. So we increased productivity. We cut down on changeover time. Changeover time from one job to the next is about 25 seconds as compared to, let's say, 25 minutes on a traditional saddle stitching line. We had customers that wanted to be able to run landscape applications, such as pamphlets, brochures. This happens to be a 9 by 12. That wasn't possible on the previous model. We're able to handle landscape jobs very accurately.
Nice.
If you open that book, you can see our crossover registration is
Yeah, it's
excellent
beautiful.
from page to page. By going to that larger format, just over 24-inch sheets, we're also able to run a very common application, which is a 12 by 12 calendar.
Calendars.
I'm not showing it here, but the system also has an optional calendar punch, which will punch that little 1/8-inch hole that
I
you
love
need
that.
in that calendar.
All the details.
Well, that's what, you know, we
time-saving tricks and details.
listened
and-
to our customers and added the features that they were looking to see. We can go down to very small format. This book can be produced 1 up or 2 up. And once again, even in this book, we're demonstrating at a small format size crossover registration from page to page, which is
Yeah,
extremely
that's-
accurate.
Yeah, that is really accurate.
Like the 5500, we can process up to 50 sheets of 50-pound offset. So that means we can produce a 200-page book. If you look at the book that I'm holding in my hand here, this is 200 pages, and it's a pretty tight fold, accurately trimmed, producing a high quality for stuff like educational manuals and things of that sort. The system also has improved creasing capability, a tighter fold. We have the ability for the stitches to change over on the fly based upon the thickness of the book. So if you're doing variable book production, your stitch length will change and the balance of your legs will change.
I love that you can see everything.
That was
In
another
there
ask.
as
That was
well.
another ask
I
from our
love that.
customers. They wanted to see what was going on inside the
That's
machine.
important.
The trimmer, when we were making a format size change on the previous model, even though it was quick and easy to set up, it still required manual intervention. Now the trimmer is completely automated, much higher jog registration inside of the trim for even higher quality than we were producing on the 5500.
Love it.
Here we're showing it with collating towers. We can go up to 6 towers with 10 bins, giving you 60 feeding stations for feeding flat 4-page SIGs. But if we turn our attention to the SPF 200L that we have over here as well, our booklet making system, you'll notice on the front end of it there's a high-speed sheet feeder. That high-speed sheet feeder can also be placed on the stitch liner, either directly feeding into it or at the back end of the towers. So now you have a system that can take pre-collated digital output or cut sheet 4-page signatures from an offset environment.
Flexibility.
Complete flexibility from one system. This system, the 200L, will also handle a landscape book like I showed you on the Mach 3. And it's also capable of doing corner stitch, top stitch, side stitch, so a very versatile machine in a quick print or implant environment where they're looking to do a lot in a very small footprint. Those are really our saddle stitching and booklet making solutions. We're very excited about the Mach 3 in particular
Yeah.
because there's a lot of 5500s out there where people are now looking to upgrade those to the latest and greatest technology from Standard and Horizon.
Yeah, that's great stuff. I love it.
Fantastic, let's move on.
All right.
As was the case with the folding equipment and the digital cut sheet digital finishing solutions, for perfect binders we have a complete range of machines. Behind you is the BQ160 PUR and EVA, semi-automatic machines, just over an inch thickness capacity. The PUR will handle your coated stops and your more durable binding requirements, flexible spine, EVA for your normal applications, very popular in franchise printing and implant environment.
Yeah.
The BQ280 is a PUR version of the BQ270, which is one of our very popular single clamp machines. Fully automated from the carriage clamp through the glue application, nipper table, scoring and registration of the cover. About 350 to 400 books per hour is a pretty good production rate to get out of it. And that doesn't matter whether you're doing a standard half-inch book all the way through a 300 book run, or if it's personalized like healthcare books or physician directories, you can caliper at the digital caliper. Every book will be a different thickness, so you can still
Really?
maintain the same
love
productivity.
that. And I'm also noticing that the monitors and the UI, the user interface is consistent throughout.
You
So
know,
I
we-
imagine cross-training is...
Verizon does a very good job of making the interface the same on every piece of equipment. So
Yeah.
cross-training an operator within a bindery area is very, very simple to do.
Love it.
And again, it's all got memory capacity and JDF driven if that is so desired. The machine that we're looking at right here is a EVA version, the BQ270. We've had a 200 series binder in our line for more than 20 years. This is the 3rd generation. Again, about 400 books per hour. Digital caliper right there by your left hand.
Nice.
Allows you to change thickness on the fly or from job to job, from a single 8-page SIG up to 2 inches. And for trimming, once you have a full stack delivered out the delivery of the BQ270, you simply load them into the infeed of the HT33 side trimmer and go back to binding. This machine will automatically feed the book blocks into the system, trim them all 3 sides, and deliver them to the delivery area. No need to pay attention to it, no operator required.
I love how all these work together and just that efficiency gain.
Well, you're going to see a little bit more about that when we get to the BQ480, which is part of the smart binding system we keep talking about, but I'm keeping you in suspense.
Is this my grand finale?
We finally made it to the smart binding line.
Oh,
I've been
good.
teasing you all day. This is a great place to wrap up the actual product demonstration. The smart binding line is the center stage of our demonstration floor, and it's a great example of how we combine Horizon and Humpler together to make a complete bindery solution.
Yeah.
What we're showing here is a perfect binding line that's capable of doing up to a 2.5-inch thick book with either EVA or PUR. We're actually running from a printed roll, so you would run this on a digital print engine roll to roll, process the roll from the Humpler unwinder into the cutter. The cutter is going to cut the sheets to length. We can cut at a static length, or we can vary the length with dynamic cutting. The reason for that is minimizing blank sheets at the end of the book. So if I vary my cut length, I can then also vary my fold pattern so that I'm changing between 12-page and 8-page signatures, and that minimizes blanks at the end of the book.
It's incredible that that's being done in a variable manner. Now, I'm assuming this is barcodes?
Yeah, that's all going to be driven by marks, a combination of marks and barcodes.
Got it.
You know, so for example, the reader that is located here on the interface conveyor between the folder and the cutter, that's letting me know in this particular job that we're running the change between 8-page and 12-page signatures.
Got it.
So we create the signatures in our AFV566F buckle folder. The signatures are checked for squareness. If there's a fold that's a bit long or short or skewed, the signature is rejected. We're looking for the last signature of a book based on a mark at the end of that book block. That's going to tell the accumulator, the BBS40, to send that complete book block down to the binder. However, remember I mentioned we might reject a page? Well, in this system, we have a barcode scanner that's looking for a unique barcode on each one of the signatures. So if we reject a signature, or perhaps there was a jam, a paper jam, and you lost the signature, we know that because the barcode is missing for that signature within the run, so we're automatically going to reject the book to a reject tray so it doesn't go down to the binder. That will also allow you to generate a preprint file. In the accumulating section, we're building the book blocks, we're jogging them nice and tight so they're ready to go into the binder, but we want to ensure that they stay jogged. So we're glue tacking with 2 glue guns on the head and foot of the book in the trim out area, so that when they go through the 3-knife, they go into the binder, they're secure. When they go out the 3-knife trimmer, we eliminate the glue tack. The book blocks travel down the conveyor, and when they reach the elevator brings each individual book up to the in-feed height at the BQ480 Perfect Binder. The BQ480 is our most popular standalone binder as well, capable of doing from an 8-page signature up to 2.5-inch thick, PUR or EVA, and at the high end you can produce 1,000 books per hour. This particular run we're running for you today, and I won't be running it for you.
I can't wait.
We're actually producing at about a rate of 750 books per hour. Books, after they're bound, come out the exit of the binder to the cooling conveyor. The cooling conveyor is going to carry the books down into the in-feed tunnel of the HT1000B variable 3-knife trimmer. There's a barcode scanner in that tunnel, and it's looking for the barcode in the trim out area on each one of the books. This barcode will automatically change the trimmer over on the fly from one format size to the next. So each one of these books could be a different trim size, 6x9, 7x10, 8.5x11. In fact, the job that we're running for you is 3 different size books. Here you can see.
So these are all in the same stream?
These are all in the same stream from the same print roll. So you can see that we're running 3 different titles of this cookbook in 3 different finish sizes. They also could be different thicknesses from book to book as well. The trimmer will automatically adjust on the fly. So there you have it.
So are we going to fire this baby up or
We
what?
are going to fire it up and you're going to see some production.
All right.
Let's get it going. Trish, I thought this might be a great way to wind up the day. Why don't you take a seat? The sign behind you says, "Let's talk workflow," and we're going to take a couple of minutes to do that.
Sounds great.
You know, we've been talking all day about automation and how easy it is to pull a job from memory or set a job up with touchscreen. But I've also talked about how JDF data can be used to set up our equipment. And this is where that all begins.
This is
So-
kind of the underlying software and the
Yes, yeah.
tools
Yeah,
for your
many customers have their own pre-press software that they utilize for imposition, but we also work together with our partners to provide imposition software with an understanding of what is required for each one of our finishing processes. So we can provide you with the imposition layouts for perfect binding, saddle stitching, die cutting, as you see with a
Right,
job like the
definitely
labels
right
on
here.
the middle screen here. And that's where it all begins. Now, the screen to your right, we kind of wrap up with that. That's our PXNet. Our PXNet
Yeah.
is our digital workflow, and what that allows us to do is, one, utilize JDF data to set up the equipment, so that ticket you see on the right-hand side of the monitor, that's the imposition for a saddle stitch job. Now, that JDF data can go direct to the finishing device, or if you see the job ticket sitting in front of you, we can produce a job ticket that travels through the shop with the job, and when it reaches the saddle stitcher in this particular case, scan the code and the machine automatically starts up. What else happens at that time is we begin the clock, let's call it, on the job. So if you look at the center screen, that center screen allows us to schedule work on any one of the pieces of Horizon equipment that are working on the digital workflow system, and we can also monitor real-time production and get an estimate of when a time is going to be finished, and provide historical data through JMF to your IT system, so that now you have a history of how long it really took to run that job, so the next time you price it out, you're going to be a little bit more accurate.
That's powerful stuff.
Well, you know, in today's environment, again, with digital workflow, with less skilled operators available, shorter turnaround time, you have to be a little bit more alert as far as how jobs are moving through the shop.
Yeah.
And a tool like PXNet, our digital workflow, and our imposition systems help us to accomplish that.
All about efficiency, word of the day.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I have to thank you, Trish, for all of your attention today. I hope you've gained a lot from what you've seen here on the floor.
Thanks. It's been a blast, and I think we've all learned a lot from the tour. So, Bob, it's been it's just been so much fun. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure's been all mine. Thank you very
Thanks.
much. Yeah.